Yesterday, we sat down after the gym and we were talking about since he and I got out of the military, we got out about the same time. Since we got out, about 50% of the guys that we served with either aren't alive anymore or they are non-functional. They've gone down the road with addiction, alcoholism, drugs, whatever it might be. And there are very, very few people we served with who are actually functional, productive members of society. One thing I know, like Chris and I have talked about, is after being in the military for a number of years, a lot of guys get out and you kind of hit this brick wall with the civilian world. So many guys hit that wall when they come out and it's like, I got nothing to live for now. And that's really where the snowball seems to go downhill for many, many guys.
And one of the biggest things I have seen is the suicide rate. It is absolutely massive as soon as these guys get home. We're talking within the first 6 months of these guys getting back, they have no idea what to do. And their only permanent solution to a semi-permanent problem is to take their own life. In reality, there's so many things you can start to enact to give yourself purpose, also like a military drive. The first thing that I really found was, learning diet and trying to balance myself again because my testosterone had crashed. Let's be honest, like most guys, when they get out, their 5 food groups are McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. The next thing is get yourself tested, see what's going on in your blood, see if you got problems. You can't really attack anything in life unless you really take the time to, see what's going on inside your system, see what the biggest issues you have are. Yes, it is a challenge, but just like the military, we can face challenges. We've proven that.
And, when I first got out, I was probably, I think 24, went into the VA, and they're like, by the time you're 30, you're going to have a double knee replacement. And so I haven't had one, haven't had knee surgery. I'm functional.
And of course I ran into doctors that told me like, I'll never be the same. I'm never going to look the way I did. I'll never be able to do those things. And you know what? I couldn't agree with that. For me, it felt like they were giving up on me prior to me giving up on myself.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was I reached out to multiple doctors until I found one that said, you know what, we can help.
Right.
And so for me, they told me that I would never be 100% again, that I would never be able to think clearly again, that I was going to have a lot of issues, not only stumbling over my words, but, that I was not going to be a person that was well put together.
Right.
And, if you're watching now, obviously, like I can jabber. When I finally found people that were willing to help, my world changed entirely.
I think when I first went in, they tried to prescribe me 16 different medications. And it's like, either you can become a product of the system where you depend on these medications for basic functionality that then lead to side effects down the road, which lead to more medications, or you can find a doctor outside the system that actually knows what they're talking about. And it's rare to find a doctor who knows about nutrition because they don't teach it in medical school.
And the first part of that is admitting you may have an issue, accepting that, going for the gold with it and saying, you know what, now I need to seek the help. Right. And if you can do that, you can find the routes, and they told me that I would never squat. What's the first thing I do every day? That's the thing, is if you're willing to take the time to really figure out your issues, then I guarantee there's going to be either a semi-solution or a permanent solution that exists for you.
And so when you go to a doctor and he's like, oh no, you have to have this surgery, you have to have this medication the rest of your life, stuff like that. That's probably not the final answer. There's probably a way to literally heal yourself and bypass all of that additional trauma that you would go through with surgery or to your metabolic system with medication, whatever it might be. And it's important for guys to find a way to actually heal themselves instead of becoming dependent on this monopolized pharmaceutical industry that we have.
And the craziest part is that there are natural paths now, and we have so many more remedies, not only within the fitness world, but being healthy in general creates a positive mindset. So for me and Brian here, we both want to see guys taking a more natural path, a healthier path, through diet, exercise, outreach, those are huge things because there is a lot of outreach for guys like us. And I'd like to see a much healthier process. We lose 7 out of 10, soldiers like within a month that literally process out of the military to suicide, to alcoholism, to drug addiction. And if you can't figure that out, the good start is maybe I should get in the gym. Maybe I should start eating a little healthier. Maybe I should get a blood test and see what's going on inside of me.
Right.